Hey guys, so today's video is going to be about MCC. Earlier in the week, or about a week and a half ago, Sketch posted 3 new threads on Halo Waypoint, just about some MCC things that that you guys would like to see heading forward, because they're going to be releasing basically beta builds of a new MCC that they're working on throughout 2018. Before we get to today's video, I just have to say that I had this idea that MCC, it's going to be finished probably 3/4 through this year, which is basically when a Halo title is released. What if that is the standalone Halo title that has been rumoured to be releasing this year, with a beta attached for Halo 6, and then Halo 6 releases next year? Just something to think about. It'll probably have other stuff attached to it, because I doubt they're going to re-release a game that had so many problems with absolutely nothing else with it, and market it at full price, because people would be so angry. But just something to think about, and keep in the back of your head, so if it does happen, you're like, oh, Remy was right. Alright, let's get to the video. So moving on to the things that you guys suggested was, one, and this is basically every single person said this, was dedicated servers for MCC. And it definitely makes sense, because the Halo 3 BR hit registration, as it is, sucks so much. It's worse than the 360 version for whatever reason. So dedicated servers would be a huge thing, and maybe that coupled with an EXP progression system, so people have like something to grind for if they're not going to play ranked all the time. Alongside that, people said that they wanted to see daily, weekly, and monthly challenges. I know that would fit into more like a reach XP progression system, but even if you said like you get 10 XP for a daily, 15 XP for a, no, that's not right, 50 for a weekly, maybe 100 for a monthly challenge, and then you had it like 1 XP for a win, and then you just threw out a double XP playlist. That would be awesome, because it would give them an incentive to keep going back to the game. At least like the hardcore guys aren't going to care about that. They're just going to play, and they want good hit registration on the playlist that they play. That's all they're worried about. But for the casual guys, they need some sort of incentive to keep them coming back to it. Halo 5 has that with the daily rec packs, or that's what 343 thinks it does. But yeah, that would be an awesome thing, just to get people coming back to the game every day, to try to get some sort of standard player base, and some sort of community going for MCC moving forward. Speaking of the playlists, I've seen a lot of talk about, especially when I read through the Halo Waypoint threads. Actually, I should be able to pull it up in like 2 seconds. Top playlist wishlist item, and I guarantee on the first page, it's going to say, well, free for all. I'd love to see free for all. Halo, this is something I had as well. Remove the SMGs from Halo 2, all of them, because if someone gets a battle rifle or a precision weapon, you got no chance of killing them with the SMG. It's just too weak, and it just doesn't stand a chance. That's something that has to happen. But this is what I was going to talk about. Halo C, Halo 2, and Halo 4 BTB with no Halo 3, because we all know how popular Halo 3 is. But then you look at it, you can't have like classic BTB and then you have Halo 3 and 4. You can't have 2 BTB playlists, and it's never going to work. So you have to come up with a way that maybe Halo 3 isn't as chosen as much, but still comes up a fair amount of the time, but gives the other people the option to actually still play the other game types. And literally the only thing I could think of would be in the ordering of the playlist when you actually vote. Instead of being Halo 3 in the middle, I think that's what it is now, have Halo 1, Halo 2 in the first 2 slots, and then you'd have Halo 4 in the 3rd right slot with Halo 4. So it'd be 50% of the chance to come up with Halo 4, 50% chance to come up with Halo 3. That's the only thing that I could come up with that would make both people happy, because I know 343 isn't going to want to split the population that much and have 2 separate BTB playlists, and then that is just going to happen through everything. Every playlist is going to have Halo 3 separated, and it's just not going to work if you make the playlist like that, because you're going to have about 50 random playlists and have the small enough population as it is spread to nothing. Obviously H2A would go into the Halo 2 column as well, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I kept on scrolling down, I kept on finding some other things. One of them says Grooveball. I think that just should be frankly just removed, and they have a rotational frequent playlist that's updated every 2 weeks like Halo 5. They have to do that. I remember they put CE4 which is actually the next comment below on the list here, but that was an awesome playlist. That was something that has never been done on Xbox Live before, and it was hugely popular. People loved it, and it just kind of mixed it up from the traditional 2v2 style that has Halo C basically played on it all the time. But a rotational playlist would be so helpful, just so they could try different things. Like you could have a Halo 3 one, you could have a Fiesta playlist where you do Fiesta across every single game mode. I mean, I don't think Halo 1 has random weapon starts, but I know Halo 2, 3, 4, and H2A does, so that could be something. But there are so many different options with how many games are in the MCC that it wouldn't take them long just to flip a switch or make a playlist, or even get one of the community members to make a bi-weekly or weekly playlist update that can just be quickly tested and thrown into matchmaking. Moving on from the playlists, you have the actual menus themselves. Now, I've seen a lot of people said this, but they just feel like the menus are just ugly, they don't work. I remember when the game first came out to now, the game was supposed to launch with those cinematic like cutscenes in the background, but the way it just got all thrown together, it just didn't work. And don't even get me started on the menu music that you can't turn off. I mean, you can't mute it, you can't turn it off, so please just give us an option to either turn down the music in the main menu in settings, or just turn it off entirely, because I don't know how many hours I've listened to monks chanting and I wanted to rip my ears off my head because it's just, I'm just like, oh my god, shut up. But that's something small, but it'd make like such a huge quality of life difference to the game itself. Another quality of life update that hasn't been able to work in the last 6 months is guests. If you do play MCC regularly, you'll notice that guests don't appear in the game anymore. For whatever reason, when you try to use it, it says you don't have permission to play on Xbox Live, and guests can't play the game, so you need 2 actual gold accounts to be able to play online. I'm not sure why this was happening, or since there's been no updates for 3 years, so why this happened for 343. I don't know if it was something on Microsoft's side that caused this to happen, but it's something that has to be fixed. So obviously, I don't have to give you guys the metaphor. 2 guys sit down, they want to play some Xbox Live at their friend's house. He wants to sign into a guest, they have all these issues, they're like, oh, you just want to play something else instead? Sure. And then there's 2 people who could have been playing Halo, but they're playing something else instead. So, I'm not really going to go on to about that too much, because that's just something that has to be fixed. And hopefully it's just a small fix, and it's done very quickly. Moving on from guests, we have file shares. The theater mode actually is broken as well. What they need for file shares is just the way it was in Halo 3 or Halo Reach. You can just upload something to your file share, other people can download it. Very simple, very easy to use. Just streamline it so people can get the content they want. Leading on from that, obviously there's going to be no theater for Halo 1 or Halo 2, because that's absurd to think that they're ever going to create that. But not only is Halo 3 theaters buggy, like if someone respawns in the middle of a clip, it will just glitch out for a couple frames, so it makes recording for angles for a montage very difficult. But you can only have temporary films for however long, and then you have to make a new account so you can keep saving films, and it just doesn't work. Like, if you're going to make a file share system and you can save clips, I know you can save game types, but you should be able to save films too. It's 2018, you're remaking a game. It should have had it to begin with, let's be honest, but it's something that has to be in the game when you either re-release it or revamp it. Next we have something that's a huge glitch, but it happens to me all the time. You've probably seen it in one of my videos before, but it's a glitch on Halo 1 where you're loading the game and it's got the loading bar down the bottom. If you hit the guide button and you open up your dashboard while the game is loading, when you close it and the game loads, you won't be able to move, you won't be able to do anything, you won't be able to quit. And that's something that's just a little bug that has to be fixed, but it's just for me, because I hate it happening, and it happens to me all the time, because usually I check messages or I check a clip I got in between games, and it just freezes my entire game out. It happens probably like 4 or 5 times a night when I do play MCC, and it's just annoying. Last but not least, I'm just going to go through just a list of things that I think should be added. Party up system at the end of a match. Need I say more? Pre-game, like talking, like you have the voice proximity chat in Halo 2 and Halo 3, but just being able to party up at the end of the game, just hit X. It's a simple Halo staple. Campaign co-op on dedicated servers as well, so it doesn't lag, because it's impossible to play campaign co-op. A lot of people ask for that. And Firefight for ODST users, something that been frequently requested as well. So if you guys can do that too, that'd be sweet. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below things you'd like to see added to MCC, or your top thing that you'd love to see fixed. I'd love to see Reach added personally. That would be an awesome thing to see. I don't think it'd be impossible to do. I mean, you don't have to make it 60 frames per second if you don't want to, but if they could add it in some level, that'd be incredible. But I'm going to put the URLs to the waypoint threads below, so if you want to go give 343 a feedback, go and do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a montage out in 3 days, edited by Apple Fanatic, and then I am off to HCS Sydney So I expect a video about that before I leave. I'm not sure if I'll vlog it yet, but we'll see what happens. I'm currently just practicing in the HCS free-for-all players like crazy. The connection's really bad for me, but I feel like if I can get within like 5 kills of first on their champ level on the bad connection, it puts me in a really good state going to Sydney. So thank you guys so much for watching. Got heaps of videos coming out in the next week or so before I leave. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.